Morning, boys and girls. It's another Bank Holiday Monday. Yes, Monday the 6th of May, 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk coming to you from Bracknell here in Berkshire. Another cold morning, although it don't seem to be as cold as it was yesterday. It was very cold yesterday morning, dear. And the heating's gone back on. Hear the meter. The heating is back on. Yes, I did wonder how many of you would be here on a bank holiday morning at this hour, but we'll see. Good morning to Shania, who gets the first message of the day in there on Facebook. Good morning, Shania. And I come straight to the messages for... Do you know, something wrong with this chair now? I'm sure this is leaning to one... I can do that to it now, look. Do you think something's worn out? I kind of feel like I'm leaning to that side. Or I'm not. I know I'm not, but... I feel like let me see if it needs to be... Perhaps it needs to be turned around and screwed up. Does it work like that or not? With a revolving chair. Hang on a minute. Let me see what happens if I do that. Is it like on a screw thing? You'd think I did this before I started, wouldn't you? Is that going to make any difference at all? No, it doesn't screw up, does it? You know, like some of those stools that you get in bars, and you can make them go up and down by screwing it. Let's see see if that's any better. If that's made any difference whatsoever. No, none. I think this is going to be one of those DIY jobs where you get, like, I don't know, a piece of paper, fold it up, a bit of sticky tape, and put it underneath to make sure it holds up. Like, oh, the entire house and caravan are like that. Believe me, bits of sticky stuff held up with no more nails, temporary there. In fact, tomorrow, when I get to the caravan tonight, I'll probably do it tomorrow during the daytime, actually. I've got an old white sheet. When I do the shows from the caravan, there's a definite strange colour to my face, which for some reason makes my lips look really red. I don't know if it's the lights that I've got in there, or the sun still coming through the curtains, which are blackout curtains, but I don't know if there's a little bit of light getting around the sides and then bouncing back off the coloured curtains and onto me. So I've got an old white sheet, which I'm going to just tack up onto the ceiling. You won't be able to see it. It's all bits and pieces here, dear. Anyway, Shania, as I say, Shania gets the first message of the day in, and I'm pleased about that because yesterday morning, after I did the show yesterday morning, I went to church as always on a Sunday, and there was Shania and her dad Vectis and her brother Calum there, who had come over from the Isle of Wight. They got a couple of days to spend here. I think they were going to Marlow Zoo, I think it was, or somewhere like... I wrote it down, actually. Did I write it down? I thought I wrote that down. Marwell Zoo. I think you went to Marwell Zoo yesterday. And they were going to go to Peterborough, they said, and do some stuff there, but they decided not to go there. So they came to see me, and they were waiting for me just outside the church when I pulled up in the new car. Oh, yes, it still smells nice. No one has farted in my new car yet. I'm so pleased about that. It's nothing posh, mid-range, low to mid-range. It's just a Toyota, that's all it is. But it's lovely being able to drive that. And they were there waiting for us. And it was so nice. It was so nice to sit next to people I know, to friends in a church who had gone there to meet me, like you would perhaps some of you with your families and things like that. You know, you go to church. I've always felt, you know, I go to church and I sit next to the same people if I'm not playing the organ. And that's nice. But there's no, like, family member anymore, you know. Whereas it used to be my mum, my dad would be in the choir, and Nanny Ryan would be there, or someone, a member of the family. Now I go on my own and no one seems to come. And it really made my day, that did. It really, really made my day, that three people turning up in the same sort of club as I am, you know? And sitting next to me, and Vectis was attempting to sing, which was quite frightening, to be honest. But he did warn me before he sang. Vectis was sitting next to me. Vectis is a friend of mine. He does a show on Isle of Wight radio, Vectis Radio, which is on the Isle of Wight. I beg your pardon. There is an Isle of Wight radio, so it's incorrect title. It's Vectis Radio on the Isle of Wight. And it was lovely, really. Really, really nice. And afterwards, I went out. So I'm quite pleased with myself. I managed to get a free cup of tea out of him as well. You know, I did my fumbling. Do you do that? Fumbling when it comes time to pay for something? And I fumbled in my pocket and got out. And the tea is like, you just make a donation. I like to give £1 a cup. I like to give £1 a cup. And I'm looking for some money in my pocket. And all I had was a £20 note. So I said, no, volunteer. Everyone's a volunteer in there, okay? Including me, playing you one. And went to the tea place. They said, you've got to change of 20 quid. And they pointed towards this plate which was there, which had about, I don't know, 80 pence in it. All I had was a £20 note. Now, this has happened to me before in there, where you've gone out there for a cup of tea afterwards, and I've only had a fiver, and I've paid £5 for a cup of tea before there. Mind you, I did have a few biscuits as well, but it wasn't £5. I wasn't going to put £20 in for 4 cups of tea. So I'm looking around and Vectis was there. I said, can you change it? You haven't got change on a £20 note, have you? And he said, I've only got a fiver. I said, oh, well, that's all right, then you can buy them. So I managed to get a cup of tea out of him as well, and a biscuit. They didn't have the biscuit. Oh, why didn't you take the biscuits? I could have had them. I mean, I'm always a bit wary. You know when it's like a voluntary type thing and they've got a plate of biscuits? I'm always a bit wary of taking more than one. I don't want to appear greedy, you know? But Shania and Calum, in fact, you could have all taken a biscuit once, one biscuit, and I could have had the lot, couldn't I? So we sat there talking around, and then Father David appears. So we had a conversation with him, and it turns out it's a very small world because the people that they know from their church, I can't remember what the church is now, Ventnor. I think it's in Ventnor. The church that they go to, he knows them and lots of other people that they know as well. It's fantastic, isn't it, really? Really is. So that really, 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 really made my day yesterday, seeing them at church, and a very nice day it was as well. Good, and thank you for the tea, Vectis. I owe you a cup of tea now, okay? Good morning to Mike Rees-Ponto, who's in Portsmouth. Morning. Alan Russell, hello to you, Alan, okay? Are you enjoying living outside London now? You're in Norwich now, aren't you? You're in Norwich or Suffolk, one of those two. They're next to each other, practically the same place, dear, aren't they? Are you happier living there than you were in Hackney? I'm sure you are. Morning to Adam the Plumber. Or do you miss London? Because there is, much that I hate London and all that, and I don't go out there and all that, I think there is stuff to miss there if you're used to London and the hustle. I'm out of it now. I got used to being outside London. There's no way I could live in London again. Good morning to Maureen, joining us by text message this morning. Morning, Maureen. I could not live in London. Busy, cars, dust, fumes, concrete everywhere. I just couldn't do it. Have you got used to living outside London now, I forgot your name now. Alan, sorry. Have you? Morning to Adam the Plumber. Good morning. I've been having a little think about you as well this morning, Adam. I've been thinking about lots of things this morning. You were one of them. Good morning, Adam. Katie Ann Patterson in the house. Good morning, Diane Jeb. Morning, Diane. You Todd is in the house. Good morning, you Todd. Welcome to a moment of madness. They are. It's talking to everyone. You feel free to talk to each other on there as well, you know. Diane Jeb, have I said hello to you? Diane Jeb, morning. Paul Stadden, St. Jean. Is that how you say it? Paul St. Jean. I'm just guessing there. Morning, Paul. Morning to you. Tommy Flynn, nice spring yellow shirt. This is my favourite shirt. It's years old. It's now torn at the sleeves, but you can't see it because the sleeves of the jacket are over it. This is absolutely my favourite shirt. Ben Sherman. My sister says you're going to have to throw this away soon. It's just becoming all ripped at the do you want to see it? I don't think I can get... Oh, yes, I can. There we are. Look, there you are. See? It's all a bit ripped there. See? But this is my favourite one. I love the colour of this. I looked all over the place to find one of a similar colour and material. Can't find one anywhere for love of money. Not even on eBay, unfortunately. Sticky tape fixes everything. It absolutely does. It certainly does. Ah, there he is. Vectis Humphrey, who bought the tea yesterday. He said, you should have asked if I could have farted in your car. No, thank you very much. You won't be doing that, Vectis. Otherwise, I shall force my friend Shania to force you to listen to her violin playing for 2 hours, mate. There you are. That shut you up, innit? Morning to Ray Reynolds, who's coming to the Chamber of Horrors to sing at the karaoke tonight. I don't know if you noticed, Ray, I put up the posters this morning. I've already done it this morning. Advertising tonight's karaoke. If you'd like to see the poster, there it is. That's what I put up on my Facebook this morning. Karaoke. And it just came into my head this morning that one thing you could say about our karaoke to advertise it is, why go and see a show when you can be the show? I think that's pretty good, don't you? Why see a show when you can be the show? Exactly. So if you want to come along to our karaoke tonight, each and every Monday, come along tonight, 7:30 until 11 o'clock. Please, if you're coming, don't leave it till like 9:30. You can get there at 9:30, right? And we've run out of singing spaces. That's just how it is. And then the people, we had one on Friday night. Oh, can I sing? I think it was about 11:30 because we're 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock on Friday and 11 o'clock on Mondays. I'm sorry, there's no spaces left now. But I'm really good. Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference. They were there first. And sometimes people, as I say, I've said so many times before, they turn up at like 10 o'clock or whatever. 9:30. And sometimes when it's really busy, 9:30 to 11 o'clock, it may be an hour and a half, but you may only sing once because there were other people in there at 7:30. You know, if you get there at 7:30, you'll sing at least twice, maybe 3 times, sometimes even 4 times. Okay? If you get there at 9:30, they've got their songs in. Now, I don't take more than three songs per person at a time. You know, and people, it's funny, sometimes people, they put in songs, you know, might be giving me 4 songs, and then they give you another one, and another one, and it doesn't make any difference. You keep putting them in. It's those people that they're right at the beginning, they get there 7:15, 7:30, and, you know, they must take preference. They've been sitting there spending the money all night. You know, you can't walk in at a quarter to the end of the show, quarter and an hour before the end of the show, and expect to take preference over those people there. Morning to Mark, who's coming from. Are you in Rome now, Mark, or are you home yet? He's been in Rome, and very pleased to tell you that he managed to get to the Vatican yesterday. Now, by the looks of his photographs, he didn't get inside. He just went sort of outside. But even then, I mean, it's quite breathtaking when you stand in front of the Vatican in Rome. It really is. If you can get inside, all well and good. I must say, I saw the pictures that you took yesterday. The queue to get inside St. Peter's wasn't that long, was it? On the right-hand side. I did notice that. See, I've been there before. I think both times it was around sort of September time, and the queue was massive trying to get in there. And you want at least half a day going around in that church. It's ever so big in there. Really is. So, morning to you, sir. Mike says, do you know they call Portsmouth Little London due to very similar accent we speak with? I didn't know that. Do we speak with the same accent? Do I speak with what sort of accent do you think I speak with? I've been told I speak Thames Estuary, and I don't even know what that means. Thames Estuary. What is that? What sort of accent do you think I speak with? Some Americans think I'm Australian. It's true, yeah. A lot of Americans think I'm Australian for some reason. Adam was born and lived in London most of my life, but would now never go back there to live again. No, neither would I. Thank you very much. Dreadful place. Anyone on YouTube this morning? There we are. Morning to Claire. Good morning, Claire. Claire is in the house. Morning, lovely Claire. No karaoke tonight. She's off to Kent for a few days. We'll send messages from the beach. Are you going in your caravan? Claire goes to a caravan down there. Good morning to lovely Joanna. Joanna, I'm going to sing in a minute. Not a whole song. Not a whole song. I can't remember what a song is called. Actually, I'll ask it now, and then anyone watching can tell me. It goes, the only bit I've got, and the reason I've got this song in my head is because my nephew, Jimmy, went out with his mates to one of their football things. I think it was either yesterday or a few days ago. And in the car, he'd selected the song, I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the falling rain. Ba 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 ba. And it goes da 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 da. I can't hear a word they're saying, only the echoes of my mind. What is that song? because I can't get in my head. I can't get that first line. Someone will know. Ray Reynolds will know that. Ray will know that. I think it's an old-fashioned one. Thank you, Shania. It was lovely to go to mass with you. It really was. I noticed that, instead of me sitting next to you, your dad forced his way in between us. Did you notice that? In case we mucked about at church. In case we were naughty people at church. Blimey, don't your dad talk loud in church? I think the entire church could hear him when he was having a conversation with me at the beginning of the mass. The poor woman playing the organ, we could hardly hear her. Morning to Michael Pullman. He's in Australia. Morning. Mark's still in Rome. Okay. The queue wasn't big, but it was bad rain, so I left. But I liked outside. Loads of picks up tomorrow. Excellent, mate. Absolutely excellent. I'm sorry you didn't get in there, though. That's a shame, that is. Tommy Flynn, good morning. Take the number from the shirt into a Ben Sherman shop. They will source the one for you. Really? Well, it's 20 years old, though. What, would it be in the collar, in the sort of label? I'll have a look at that when I take it off later. Would you like me to take it off now, Tommy? Would you like to see my super fit dad bod? Would you? Or granddad bod, as it probably is called now. I've got dad bod. Dad bod. Have you got a dad bod? Who's got a dad bod? Ray went to a film festival yesterday at the Royal National Hotel near Russell Square. Jenny Hanley. Oh, yes, from Magpie. Magpie. One for silver and 2 for gold. 3 for a girl and 4 for a boy. No. Magpie. One for sorrow and 2 for joy. 3 for a girl and 4 for a boy. 5 for silver and 6 for gold. 7 for a secret never to be told. Magpie. Hey, look, an extra song for Joanna. It's twice I've sung, especially for Joanna. Every time I sing, it's dedicated to Joanna because she loves my singing, don't you? Thank you. Hello to Royston. Could you get up now? Because Adam needs his coffee in the morning, my dear. Come on. Chop, chop, dear. Chop, chop. Down to the kitchen. That's it. Mark, good morning to nephew Gary Butler. Morning, Gary. Hopefully see you tomorrow night. Okay? I'll pop round to my nephew's tomorrow. Everybody's talking. I knew Ray would know that. Everybody's talking at you. Let me write that down. I wonder if there's a karaoke version of that. Have I got that? Do you mind if I have a quick look? I may even sing you 1 or 2 bars, Joanna. One moment, please. We're now connecting you to our karaoke services. Please hold the line. Your call is important to us, and you will be connected to a customer services representative as soon as one becomes available. Please hold the line. Right, everybody's talking karaoke. Let's see if I can find this. Is it Nielsen? Is that the one? Let's have a listen. 1 moment, please. There it is. Blah, blah. Try this. See what this sounds like. Is that sound on or not? Is that playing? Oh. Here it is. Oh, just a minute. It's coming. Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying, only the echoes of my mind. Sing along, gang. Here we go. People stopping and staring. I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes. Different tune. Here we go. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Oh, yes, I think I might do that tonight. That's a good song, that, isn't it? My nephew was playing it with all his mates in the football thing. I think it was Alex and Shep and someone else I didn't recognise in there. And a girl in one of the photographs. I don't know who the girl is. Thank you. Harry Nelson. Thank you, Ashley Smith. Harry Nelson, everybody's talking. That's the one. Good morning to the delightful La Belle. Gimme one more chance. Oh, yeah, baby, La Belle. Love your name, La Belle. And a look at your profile. Yes. Good morning, La Belle, to you. Welcome to our strange Englishman sitting in a room all on his own. Mike says, I've got a Cockney London accent. Apples and pears, mate. Do you think so? Claire likes that song. Thank you. You see, someone likes my singing. Someone likes my singing. Claire's going to a static caravan at Hart's Holiday Park on the Isle of Sheppey. That sounds really nice, that does. That does sound really nice, that. But talking of caravans, actually, I had the under the floor. I had insulation put on that a few weeks ago. I've now discovered a couple of companies that do outside cladding to caravans. So they put on like insulation, sort of that thick, and then reclad it with the plastic going around. So of course it's going to make it a bit wider, but that doesn't matter. And that's a thought, isn't it? You know, that really is a thought. So I've got the underneath done now. I could get round the outside done as well, because it's quite an old caravan I've got, 20 years old. But I wonder how much that is. Buying a brand new caravan, if you wanted a brand new one, you'd be looking at about £30,000. It's a lot of money, isn't it? Whereas you can do all these other bits, a lot of other little bits and pieces for a fraction of the cost to sort of update. I mean, I haven't updated it inside. One thing I'd like to do is get rid of this like mini bath thing that I've got in there, which is useless. Absolutely useless. And actually, it's starting to, the plastic is cracking around the edge. So I'd like that gone with a glass shower thing in it. At the moment, I've got a shower curtain, and the just vile things when they stick to your body, aren't they, when you're trying to shower? Nicely. A couple of what, Chris? Yeah, a couple of you, Ashley. Shut up. The song was featured in Midnight Cowboy. Everybody's talking. What was Midnight Cowboy? Was that the one about the CB radio enthusiasts? Was it? CB radio? That might have been Convoy. Because years ago, of course, I had a CB radio. Yeah, going back some years now, 1980s. CB radio. My handle was Matchbox. Matchbox. Are you on the 1-4? Yeah, that was my handle on CB radio. I've got one. My mate bought me a CB radio about 5 years ago for my birthday. That's what I wanted. And I bought a big aerial. I've got an aerial man to come round here and put it up on the roof. But there was limited success on that. Everyone's gone off CB, I'm afraid. Most people are off there now. And the people that were on there, I found it very difficult to break into a conversation with them. It's kind of a bit of a slow, closed shop, really. So that's just the way it is now, isn't it, really? Because we've all got mobile phones. Why would you need a CB radio, I suppose, is the answer to that. Midnight Express, right? Don't know, Midnight Express. Was the song in that as well, was it? Or was that a different film altogether? Dustin Hoffman. I don't know. I don't remember that one. Don't remember. You have a new object on your table, a rainbow-coloured ball thing. What is it? This was given to me by great nephew Harry. Here we go. Do you like this? Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Magic. Ding! Look at that. Isn't it good? Is it an atom or something like that? I quite like this. There we are. Here, LaBelle, this is something you could wear, my darling, as a hat while you're doing your shows or something. Look at this. Isn't that great? I need to wear that at some point. I'm glad you like it. Very pleased you like it. Yeah, so it might be worth having a look at that and seeing how much something that would cost to clad the outside of a caravan, and then they put new plastic line of what they called those. I think that's cladding as well, isn't it? No, that's the cladding. So you got the cladding that's on there now. Presumably that would be left on there. They somehow attach insulation to that. Oh, then you'd have to bring the windows out, wouldn't you? Oh, I don't know how that works. It might be worth inquiring into how much something like that is. I don't tend to spend money unless I have to. And I was talking to my friend the other day, and if you're of an age, then perhaps you've got some thoughts of this as well. One thing I tend to do not is hang on to stuff. I don't tend to spend money or get rid of stuff unless I absolutely have to. And my mate, who's around the same age as me, I think he's 56, maybe a year or two either side of that, upwards of that. He, I won't tell you who he is because he probably doesn't want to be identified, but he bought a house in another area, and he paid a builder up front to do this house up, and the builder disappeared with his money. He did a little bit of work and then disappeared with all his money. And he lost a considerable sum of money that he'd given this builder to do his house up. Now, this money was his pension. It was his pension fund. He'd taken a load of it out to do this house up. And I said to him, I think it was either Friday or Saturday night, I said to him, did you, how much of your pension did you lose? And he said, all of it. And what he's had to do is take out another loan with a bank and remortgage his place, his other place, to do this so that he can do the house up. He said, I'm now going to be paying a mortgage into my 80s. He said, but that's okay. He said, it doesn't bother me. But that's a really bitter pill, isn't it? To have worked all those years and accumulated so much, and then decided to take the money out, do something, and someone's run off with his money. And it's not the only time I've heard stories like this. You get cold callers all the time. People wanting to invest this and that. People come up to you in pubs. I kid you not, I've had people come up to me in pubs. Oh, Chris, I've got this building thing going on, or this. Do you want to be in it? You can make loads of money. No, I'm very, very careful. I'm probably too careful for my own good. But anyway, on that similar thing, he was saying to me, and we were talking about bills and things like that, and I've had some very high bills come in recently through some of the properties that I've got. You see, I have properties, some are mortgaged, some are owned, those that are mortgaged. And what tends to happen is that once I've put money away, that's it. That's not for use anymore. Are you like that? Once it's gone in there, as far as I'm concerned, that's not mine anymore. That's gone. So I live with these bills coming in, and then a high bill or two or three high bills will come in, and then I'll sit on them until I've earned or made by rent the money coming in to pay them. I won't touch what's already in there. And he said, I think you're holding on to too much of it all the time. I said, well, what if something, happens and then suddenly I need a load? It's there. He said, yeah, but now and again you do need it, but you don't do it. I said, well, no, I wait for it to come in again and then I pay the bill. And now, I just want to say this. I'm not a rich man at all. I don't consider myself I haven't got millions or even a million sitting there somewhere. I don't have that. I've got very, very little cash, actually. What I do is I save it up and I pay a bit of mortgage off. Well, I haven't been able to do that this year because these blooming bills keep coming in, big bills coming in. Someone needs a new carpet or new windows or this or cooker, or someone moves out, then you have to do the flat up again for the next one. Long term, it's good. Short term, at the moment, there seems to be an incredible amount of bills. And he said, well, you got that money in the pension as well? I said, yes. He said, well, why don't you just draw down on that? I said, well, no, because as far as I'm concerned, that's there now, do you see? And I find it very, very difficult to dip in again. Dip in and spend. And he said, well, what's the point of it all then? He said, the next one, he said, you don't know. He said, you could be here for 50 years. A lot of people living to over 100 now. On the other hand, you could walk out of this pub today and be run over as you cross the road. And he's absolutely right. He said, as he's got older, and I think he is a couple of years older than me. He's not in his 60s, but a little bit older than me. He said, when you look around at all the people of your age and younger who have died and left stuff, to who? To who? To people to get drunk or whatever like that. And he's absolutely quite right. So, I wonder what your thoughts are on that. Let's have a little look there. Katie's, let's have a look. Oh, it's only LaBelle commented on that. No one's commented on that. Good morning to Ian Days. Morning to young Ian Days. Welcome to our show. LaBelle says, well, you can't take it with you when you go. You're absolutely right. And that's what he was saying, basically. Spend some of it. He said, there must be stuff you want to do. I said, well, as I say, I tend to make do. I do tend to make do. Like that caravan is 20 years old. It's a bit small. You know, the inside is a bit old-fashioned. It's a little bit cold, although not as cold as it was because I've done things to it. But nevertheless, okay, that will do. Do you see what I mean? I'm a bit like one of those. I'm one of those that will do type people. But, you know, one of those things, isn't it, really? So I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Type them in there and I'll read them out if you have got any thoughts on that, okay? Yesterday, after my free cup of tea from Vectis, come back here, I did a little bit of cleaning yesterday. Hoovered the entire house, top to bottom, and did a bit of bathroom cleaning. Did you see that news story this morning? The Russian plane that burst into flames. They don't have a very good safety record, that Aeroflot. Was it Aeroflot? One of the Russian airlines. Terrible. You see this plane, it was on all the news programmes this morning, this plane's coming into land, and it's on fire. And it comes down on the runway and bursts into flames, all the front of it, and it comes to a stop. The back doors are open, and they got that blow-up sledge thing. Was it slide that comes down there? People were jumping off there, dear. I mean, a lot of them were saved, but I think 40 or 50 people died in the fire. What a dreadful way to go. You know, stuck in that long metal tube and flames pouring out, and there's no way you can get out. Isn't that terrible? Terrible. I do wonder sometimes, you know, with the seatbelt business and having your seatbelt on, and if it bursts into flames, whether or not it's still relatively easy to get the seatbelt off so that you can escape. Absolutely terrible. Terrible. Let's have a look there. Line of Duty. Anyone see Line of Duty yesterday? That was a good ending, weren't it? Now, question, anyone who saw it, does that mean there was a bit where Ted Hastings, he was the one they were trying to do, but he'd been framed, didn't he, by the woman with the black hair. Can't remember what her name was. But there was a bit in it where she said John Corbett, he was the bloke who had his throat slashed either last week or the week before, where John Corbett turns out to be some woman's son who Ted Hastings was seeing. Now, did you, like me, come to the conclusion that therefore John Corbett was Ted Hastings' son? Or did I read that completely wrong? Because John Corbett, I would have said he was about 40 years old in the programme, and Ted Hastings is about 60, so he could be his son. Was John Corbett Ted Hastings' son? That's the question I'm asking you this morning. Eh? What do you reckon? Because I'm not sure. The woman who was doing the interviewing, she's very cool, calm and collected, isn't she? I'd like her working for me. LaBelle says, money, if you pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a damn thing unless it's spread around, encouraging young things to grow. And we are young things, aren't we, LaBelle? We are young things, my dear. Young and beautiful. I'm not as young as beautiful as you, but I'm not too bad, I don't think. So what do you reckon about Line of Duty yesterday? Mike says, when I retire... And there must be a very long delay on this morning, because I'm kind of getting messages on the stuff I've talked about 10 minutes ago, but never mind. Mike says, when I retire in 3 years, I'm going to take the lump sum from my pension of 25%, which are allowed tax-free. Yes, that's what I did, Mike. I did that last year. And with that, I bought a caravan, and with the rest of it, it's all gone now. I paid bits of mortgage off. You know, that's what I did with my money. I'm not a waster. I'm really not a waster, and I don't upgrade things the moment they're old. The one thing I do is change the car every 3 years because I rent that. I rent the car, and to me, it's so important to have a reliable car. Got to have a reliable car because if I can't be breaking down on the way to work. There's no one to cover. It's too late. An hour into the journey, you break down. No one can get there and do the karaoke. It's too late. They'd be stuffed, really. And I'd hate all that. It wouldn't bother me losing the one night's money. What would bother me is people sitting there waiting for something to happen. And I feel, even though it wasn't my fault, I would feel I've let them down. I will be somewhere when I say I'm going to be somewhere. Always there, all right? LaBelle, me young at 41 years of age, I'll take it. 41's not old. Yeah, look, Tommy even says 41 is the new 21. Yeah, that's because he's 41 and all. Come on, line of duty. Is Ted Hastings John Corbett's son? Sorry, was John Corbett Ted Hastings' son? Because I'm not sure. So I watched that last night. It was an hour and a half long. It went ever so quickly watching that programme. Really, really good. And then after that, I watched an episode of Victoria. I'm not quite up to date on that. But it was the episode where everyone's getting cholera. And they thought it was in the air. But it wasn't. It was in the water, and it was in a pump in a particular street. And this young doctor, made a map of cholera there. Why are all these? And then it was only in a certain area, right? And then eventually, someone outside of the area got it, and he went round to interview them and was trying to work out where she'd been. And one place she'd been was to get water from this pump that was in the middle, because no one had taps in the houses in those days. They had a pump outside. You had to go out with a bucket. Yeah. Well, some countries are still like that, I know. Some of the very poor people in Africa and all that, that's how they get the water. They've got like a pump or a well or something like that. But the cholera had been traced to this particular pump. Very good. So that's Victoria on the ITV Hub. Has there ever been a fight at one of your gigs? Yes, Alan. Many times. The best one was at a place called The Telegraph in Putney. I think it's just closed recently, actually. And this would have been 63, 73, 83, 84, around about 1984, 1983, 1984, 1982, somewhere around there. I was doing a soul night, all soul music, loose ends, Rufus and Chaka Khan. Who's that other black guy? Da 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 ba ba ba. Never Too Much, never Luther Vandross, all that sort of music. Okay? And suddenly a glass went flying across the room. And I thought, right. And then suddenly the entire room erupted. That was the worst one. Glasses, tables, chairs being thrown from one side to the other. And the weirdest thing is, I had people from both sides come up and say, it's okay, mate, you just stay there, you'll be fine, you're not involved in any of this. Just hide under your deck. So I did. I hid under the table. And when it had all finished, and the police were called, of course, when it was all finished, I got from underneath and thought, oh, my gear's going to be ruined. None of my stuff had been touched. None of it. No one had touched my stuff. Because, I wasn't involved in any of it. I was just there to play the music. And it's a shame, because this night really built up. It was packed in there. I think it was a Thursday night. And I loved playing the music, the soul music, which I became a soul music fan after listening to Tony Blackburn on BBC Radio London. We had a daily show, 9 till 12, which was just amazing, this show. It was so good. The music, the chat in between it, he was hilarious. He still does a show now on BBC Radio London, a soul show, which has now been extended to 3 hours. He was doing 2 hours. He does 3 hours on a Sunday, 12 p.m. till 3 p.m. and I highly recommend it. Soul on Sunday, it's called, on BBC Radio London, 12 o'clock. That's the worst fight there's ever been, really. Other places, little bits and pieces going on now and again, but nothing to write home about. That was by far the worst one. And then they didn't have me back after that. Well, it weren't my fault. I didn't throw a glass at anyone, did I? So there we are. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Alan. Isn't it awful? Never mind. So that was line of, I've told you about the cholera, and that's it. Yeah, that's everything I've talked about this morning. Next week, by the way, boys and girls, next week for the karaoke, I won't be there on the Monday. Okay, I've got a little holiday next week. So this week is fine. I'll be there Monday. I'll be there Friday this week. I'll be there Saturday. After I finish work on Saturday, I'm going up to the caravan. And I'm up north Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I come back on the Friday. So it's just next Monday I'm not there, okay? So I gather it'll be Wayne who will be doing the karaoke next Monday night. Okie doke. Right. Some news stories for you on this bank holiday Monday morning. Happy bank holiday morning to you, by the way. All right. Happy bank holiday Monday to you. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just close. Do you know, the one thing I hate about the Daily Mail online is the bloody videos that keep popping up. How annoying are they? No other site does that. You don't get it on the Daily Mirror or the Sun or anything like that. It's just the Daily Mail, and I like the Daily Mail. Although, to be honest, I've struggled for stories this morning. Really. I've really struggled for news stories. But, amusing things that are not too serious. I don't really do serious on here. But the little videos are constantly popping up on the Daily Mail thing, and it really does my head in. Drones. Oh, what's this? Shirtless and muscles. What, Tommy Flynn? No, mate. No. Oh, Tommy saw plenty of fights in trade. Usually shirtless muscle men. I must say, Tommy, I never saw any fights in trade. We're going back here 20 years instead. Trade was a nightclub. Trade was the name of a club which was inside the club Turnmills that Tommy and I used to go to on a Saturday night. I never saw a single fight in there, to be honest. Never, not one. I don't know where you were standing. Thomas H, good morning on Vaughan Live. Morning, Thomas. Hates the pop-ups too. Oh, it just does and they keep coming up. Yeah, and you have to close them. I've tried Ghost and I've tried Ad Blocker, but it doesn't seem to stop those damn videos coming up. Really doesn't. Anyway, drones. Drones. You've seen about delivery drones. Amazon are starting delivery drones. Maybe not here yet, but it says here in the Daily Mail, a sister company of Google, Alphabet's Wing Aviation, that's a good name, isn't it? Alphabet's Wing Aviation is just got federal approval in the US to start using drones for commercial delivery. Amazon's own drone delivery program is ready to launch as well. As drones take to flight, now you won't have thought about this. Oh, excuse me. Oh, dear. The world... I think I've just swallowed a bit of phlegm. Oh! The world is about to get a lot louder as neighbourhoods will be filled with leaf blowers, lawnmowers and chainsaws. Oh, yes, there's going to be more noise. Those leaf blowers, what a waste of time they are. You always see some bloke from the council going around with one of those leaf blowers when it's windy. And you're thinking, you see him blow the leaves over and then they blow back again. What a complete and utter waste of time leaf blowers are. Get a broom, dear, and a dustpan and a bucket and shove them in the bucket. Waste of time, though. And they're so noisy, aren't they, those leaf blowers? Anyway, it goes on. Small recreational drones are fairly loud. Serious commercial drones are even louder, apparently. Oh, yes, it's going to be buzzing all over the place. They have 8 more propellers. Alphabet's Wing has 14 propellers. These are the little drones. Amazon's Octocopa, that's the actual name, has 8 spinning at thousands of revolutions per minute, physically beating the air to generate lift and movement. The heavier the load, the harder they have to work, and the more air that gets beaten and the louder they sound. They're going to be buzzing all over the blooming place, these things. Drones also make higher pitched buzzing sounds than helicopters, which have much lower frequencies because their larger rotors don't need to spin as fast to generate the necessary power. Now imagine tens or even hundreds of drones buzzing around your neighbourhood, delivering packages to homes and businesses. You're going to think you're being attacked by wasps, aren't you? Oh, I don't like wasps, dear. But necessary for the environment. Now imagine round-the-clock hives of aerial activity that warehouses and distribution centres will become. In addition to their existing burden on local roads, Amazon recently ordered 20,000 new vans. 20,000 new vans. As an acoustic ecologist, I monitor the sound, our environment and how it changes. I'm concerned that drones are taken to the air without a lot of thought for the ears of people on the ground. Will there be a weight limit on delivery drone payloads? Who will monitor the sound levels and how? Should there be a curfew on hours of operation? There must be a reason companies don't include the sound of a drone in advertising materials, and it's probably not because they sound so nice. So there we are. So that's a good point. And now I never thought about that. You know, I do get a little bit excited, a little bit, mind, about technology. I'm very into renewables, as you know. I've got solar panels on the roof, one of which is not working again. The hot water one has broken down again, and it's not producing... Well, it is producing hot water, but it doesn't seem to be heating up in the tank for some reason. Oh, dear, these things are sent to test us. And drones are quite like drones, but I never thought about the sound of them. Of course, we all have probably, a lot of us now have heard one drone that some kid is flying in a park somewhere. I certainly have. I don't think anything of it. When are you going to see a drone like that again? Probably not for weeks. But what if you kept seeing them day in, day out, flying around the blooming sky, buzzing all the time, delivering their stuff? And if you've not got any deliveries, what about your neighbour? Or the one next door? Or the one next door? Maybe all these things have to fly over your property. LaBelle suggests we wear earbuds. I've got these ones. I don't like these. These are the default Apple ones, and I just can't stand these things in my ear. I'll never get them to stay in properly either. Look, see? They just fall out. All right, look, there you are. Out again. What about this here? Oh, that one's better. But it don't feel like it's in properly. I don't like these earbud things. I much prefer the old-fashioned ones, LaBelle. You know, where you had the strap across your head and two, like, foam pads on your ear holes. Or something like this. I haven't got my big ones here with me. They're down at the keyboard downstairs. Yes. Let's just scroll up there. Always raked. Never used a blower. Very sensible, Thomas. Those leaf blowers are a complete and utter waste of time. You're right. Good morning to Rob Shaggy Kershaw, whose late Facebook notifications never came through. I think everyone else seemed to have got them there, my friend. Just you, my friend. Just you, I'm afraid. No notifications for poor Rob this morning. Morning to JP is in the house. Has Megan Michael had her baby yet? I don't know. Megan Michael? Who's Megan Michael? It's not Mike. Is it Michael? Is that what she's going to call it? Megan Merkel, you mean? Katie, Megan, it's Merkel, my love. Thank God we haven't seen her blooming father recently, have we? That Thomas, dreadful man. Ghast, imagine having a dad like that. Don't like him at all. Tommy, you need a drone in Central Station to collect the karaoke requests. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Because sometimes people can't get to the front of the stage, unfortunately. You know, there'd be a table in the way. I must try and remember to pull those table back before we start, because people can't get to me with their requests. I could just send a drone out, couldn't I, to collect requests. I like the sound of... I might send Maureen out. Maureen, you're going to have to be a human drone tonight. I'll get Maureen to walk around the tables and collect the requests all night long. Save me doing it, wouldn't it? Oh, well, never mind. All righty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. It's birthday time on this Bank Holiday Monday, and happy birthday on the 6th of May 2019 to Mr. Alton Andrews. Alton is a lovely bloke. He used to live down south here. He moved up to Lincolnshire some years ago, married a lovely, lovely lady. And I was on the radio with him, in Liberty Radio in London. I was there in 1999 to 2000. I was only there a year. Excuse me, I've got this cough now. He was there a lot longer than me. But happy birthday to you, Alton, my very, very good friend. He's got ducks and eggs and everything where he lives. Lovely little places he's got now in Lincolnshire, which I've been to. Happy birthday, Alton, and he still does internet radio. Have a look at him. He's in my friends list, Alton Andrews, and you can listen to one of his radio shows that he does all over the world. That's the amazing thing with the internet. You can do a radio show anywhere in the world from your house. I could sit here now and start doing a radio show in Australia on one of the community stations, 2BSO or something like that, you know. Joanna says, please don't sing. I will be singing. I will be singing, Joanne. Tommy says Maureen is adorable. Yeah, bet time you came down to see him. There we are. Good morning to Ben Parker. Welcome to Ben Parker to the show. A bit late, Ben, dear. I'm nearly finished. Paris Kermani. Good morning, Paris. A young 24 years old today. Floyd Freeman is 39 today. Happy birthday, Floyd. Steve Coldham. Morning, Steve. 35 years old today. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I wonder where you are. Steve used to come to Belushi's karaoke in Hammersmith, and that was his song. Hello. And I used to play along with the triangle, didn't I, Steve? Happy birthday, sir. Dominic Moore. Good morning, Dominic. He used to work at Evan with me. Happy birthday to you. Nele Heinrich is 20 years old today. Nele, is it Nele Heinrich? Happy birthday. Rick Turnock. Rick Turnock is 36 years old today. Clerkin MJ, good morning. Happy birthday to you. And Ian Andrew Smith today is 47 years old. Happy birthday, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those wonderful people. And of course, hello to Joanna, who always looks forward to that part of my show, me singing. That's her favourite part of the of the singing. All right. Okay, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us, boys and girls. You have a lovely day. Don't forget, it's karaoke tonight at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Monday night karaoke, 7:30 to 11 o'clock. I'll see you down there from 7:30. If you want to sing, please get there nice and early. Don't walk in at 9:30. Sometimes you get there at 9:30 and we're full up. We're full up by then, okay? Have a lovely day, and I'll see you again very soon. Keep warm. Bye-bye now.